in the morning.
Welcome back to our channel, dear viewers. Today is a beautifully quiet day, the perfect kind of day to pull the curtains close, pour a warm cup of coffee, and dive deep into the shadows of Genoa City. We have a secret to share with you today, something so intense and scandalous that we just had to whisper it. Pull up a chair and lean in close, because what we are about to reveal will change everything. Did you know that trauma bonds are the absolute hardest chains to break in the human psychological experience? Sienna is proving this terrifying reality right before our very eyes, and it is entirely mesmerizing to watch. We are all completely addicted to the dark, twisting saga of the Newman family, but this latest development is something that pulls you in and refuses to let go. Sienna has begun secretly visiting Matt Clark. Yes, you heard that correctly. The very man who terrorized her, the man she once claimed she wanted to be free from forever, is now the magnetic north to her compromised moral compass. She is seeking around, hiding in the shadows, drawn back to the monster who knows exactly how to play the strings of her fragile heart. Something that few people notice is the incredibly complex justification Sienna uses to excuse these clandestine meetings to herself. On the surface, she tells her own conscience that she is merely checking on his condition after the horrifying incident where Matt saved Nick Newman's life. She wears the mask of a concerned, empathetic citizen who is just making sure that a man recovering from severe trauma is doing okay. But if you look closely, if you really study the micro-expressions on her face when she walks away from the Newman compound, you can see the truth. The real purpose of these secret visits is to probe deeper into the bizarre, unsettling changes in Matt's recent behavior. She is trying to understand the enigma of his mind, completely unaware that she is walking directly into a perfectly laid trap. And this is the part that kept me awake at night. The sheer, absolute stealth with which Sienna orchestrates these encounters. She carefully masks her tracks, ensuring that absolutely no one in the Newman family discovers her betrayal. She lies about her whereabouts, she turns off her location tracking, and she slips out into the Genoa City night like a ghost. The level of deception required to pull this off is staggering, especially when you consider that she is sleeping in the same bed as Noah Newman. She is actively choosing to deceive the man who offered her a safe haven, all to satisfy a morbid, dangerous curiosity about a man who has caused nothing but pain and destruction. It is a psychological thriller playing out in real time, and we simply cannot look away. Did you know that Matt Clark has fully regained his memories, remembering every single ounce of his burning hatred for Noah for stealing his wife? This is the most chilling aspect of these secret rendezvous. Sienna walks into these discreet, shadowy locations believing she is the one in control, believing she is the one extracting information and analyzing his mental state. But Matt is a master manipulator. He sits there, playing the role of the vulnerable, confused, or recovering man, while his fully restored mind is calculating exactly how to use her presence to his advantage. He is weaponizing her sympathy. He is using these quiet, whispered conversations to extract vital, confidential insider information about Noah's new club, the Shadow Room. Something that few people notice is how the atmosphere of these secret meetings perfectly mirrors the toxicity of their past in Las Vegas. They meet in secluded, dimly lit spots, far away from the prying eyes of the Genoa City elite. The air between them is thick with unspoken history, danger, and a twisted sense of familiarity. Sienna feels a rush of adrenaline mixed with dread every time she sees him. It is that exact rush that keeps her coming back. She is addicted to the danger, addicted to the feeling of dancing on the edge of a cliff, and Matt knows this. He feeds her just enough vulnerability to keep her hooked, while secretly gathering the ammunition he needs to orchestrate a devastating revenge plot that will leave Noah financially and emotionally ruined. And this is the part that kept me awake at night, the heartbreaking intuition of Noah Newman. Did you know that true love often comes with an invisible tether that vibrates the moment something goes wrong? Noah began to notice the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in Sienna's behavior. It started with her frequent, unexplained absences. She would claim to be running errands, going for long drives to clear her head, or meeting up with old acquaintances. But Noah is not a fool. He noticed the way she avoided his gaze when she returned. He noticed the cold, distant aura she brought back into their home. The warmth that once defined their relationship was slowly being replaced by a chilling, secretive silence. Did you know that the human mind can conjure up the most terrifying scenarios when left in the dark? Noah's mind began to race with possibilities, but nothing could have prepared him for the devastating reality. Driven by a gut-wrenching mix of concern and growing suspicion, Noah made the fateful decision to follow her. He trailed her car through the winding, darkened streets of the city, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Every turn she took away from the safe, familiar parts of town only deepened the pit of dread in his stomach. He was a man driving toward his own emotional execution, completely unable to stop himself from uncovering the truth. Something that few people notice is the absolute, shattering devastation of the moment Noah finally discovered her secret. He parked his car at a safe distance, hiding in the shadows of a discreet, suspicious location, and there, under the flickering light of a solitary street lamp, he saw her, Sienna. The woman he loved, the woman he had fought so hard to protect and build a future with, was standing face to face with Matt Clark. The visual of them together, sharing a secret space, sharing whispered words that Noah could not hear, was a fatal blow to his heart. It was not just a betrayal of their relationship, it was a profound betrayal of the safety and trust the entire Newman family had offered her. And this is the part that kept me awake at night, the visceral, consuming jealousy that instantly ignited within Noah's soul. Did you know that betrayal from the person you love most can physically alter your brain chemistry in an instant? Noah didn't just feel sad, he felt a violent, overwhelming surge of jealousy and suspicion. He watched as Sienna interacted with the monster who had terrorized his family, the monster who had nearly cost his father, Nick, his life. How could she look at Matt with anything other than absolute disgust? The fact that she was there, willingly, voluntarily engaging with him, shattered Noah's entire perception of who Sienna really was. He began to question every single moment they had shared, every whisper of love, every promise of a future. Did you know that the confrontation that followed was one of the most intensely heartbreaking scenes we have ever witnessed? Noah did not wait for her to come home and spin another web of lies. He confronted her with a quiet, terrifying intensity. When he finally unleashed his questions, the air in the room grew heavy and suffocating. He demanded to know why she was having these secretive, clandestine meetings. He interrogated her about her loyalty, his voice trembling with a potent mixture of rage and profound heartbreak. He laid all his cards on the table, exposing the raw, bleeding wound her betrayal had caused. He wanted the truth, no matter how much it was going to hurt. Something that few people notice is the psychological defense mechanism Sienna employed during this explosive confrontation. Instead of breaking down and confessing the absolute truth that she was morbidly curious, that she felt a twisted responsibility, or that she was being manipulated, she offered vague, evasive explanations. She stammered through half-truths, claiming she was just trying to figure out if Matt was still a threat, claiming she was doing it to protect Noah, but her words lacked conviction. Her eyes darted away, unable to hold Noah's piercing, devastated stare. Her excuses were flimsy, transparent, and completely insufficient to bridge the massive chasm of distrust that had just violently opened between them. And this is the part that kept me awake at night, the realization that Sienna's vague answers were actually worse than a direct confession of lingering feelings. By refusing to be entirely transparent, she essentially confirmed Noah's darkest fears. She proved that she was still keeping secrets, that she still possessed a hidden inner world where Matt Clark was allowed to exist. Noah listened to her weak justifications, and you could practically see the light of hope extinguishing in his eyes. The trust, which is the absolute foundational bedrock of any surviving relationship, was completely pulverized. He looked at the woman he wanted to build the shadow room with, the woman he wanted to build a life with, and realized he might not know her at all. Did you know that this exact scenario is the masterpiece of Matt Clark's grand, sadistic design? While Noah and Sienna's relationship crumbles under the weight of suspicion, jealousy, and deceit, Matt is sitting in the shadows, gloating. He has successfully driven a massive wedge between the man who stole his wife and the wife who betrayed him, and the most tragic part. He is using the information he gleaned from Sienna during those very same secret meetings to actively sabotage Noah's business. While Noah is distracted by a broken heart and a failing relationship, Matt is orchestrating security failures, legal audits, and physical attacks that will ultimately force Noah to lose absolutely everything. Something that few people notice is how deeply addictive this tragic downward spiral is for us as viewers. We are watching a slow-motion car crash, completely unable to look away. We feel the agonizing tension in Noah's chest. We feel the suffocating, trapped guilt in Sienna's mind. We feel the cold, calculating triumph radiating from Matt Clark. We are addicted to the pain, the drama, and the brilliant, twisted psychology of these characters. The strain between Sienna and Noah is no longer just a crack, it is a massive, unbridgeable fault line. Their relationship is hanging by the thinnest of threads, fraught with skepticism, intense jealousy, and irreconcilable conflicts. And as we sit in the dark, watching this beautiful tragedy unfold, we cannot help but whisper to ourselves, how much more can Noah Newman take before he completely shatters?